also pulled a 50K.
Yeah,
so that's how much we're worth, man.
I feel, hey.
That's how much I pay you guys to do this show.
Yeah,
so.
that's true, yeah. If the IRS is listening, he's lying his ass off. Bitch-ass Chad Holloway.
It's the PokerNews Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 824th episode of the PokerNews Podcast. I am Chad Holloway, coming to you from Level 9 Studios in Las Vegas, joined by Mike Holtz and Kyna, England. We are back to talk a lot of poker, some fun stuff. Daniel Negreanu, Alexandra Botez. I knew I was going to mess that up. And some others. So Robbi Jade Lew is in there. Ooh. And Kyna, you're the one who brought that one to my attention. You texted me. Did she just win something?
Yeah, because I was seeing a lot of tweets about that, about her being three-handed, then heads up. And at first it said 135,000 on the tweet. And I was like, oh my God, what is she about to win?
Right.
And then I was like, oh, wait, they're making fun of her. But she won. That's great for her. I mean, I don't think she's won anything. I don't know, but
what a shock.
We'll get into that towards the end of the episode. We just did our entrance for this show, this podcast, and I want to talk about an entrance that happened in the poker world because it might have been one of the greatest of all time. I'm talking about Jason Koon at the Triton series. Wow. We've got a little clip to show of this entrance. Let's show that right now.
From the US, 1.3 million. Please welcome Jason Koon.
Was that what I think it was? A backflip by Jason Koon. Looking to flip this FT on its head and pick up his 11th title.
All right, so there you have it. Jason Koon, one of my favorite guys. He just backflipping it. Mike, why don't you do that when you come in here?
No, I was going to say, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but he stole that from me. I showed that to him and I was like, yo, next time I make a final table. And he said, as a friend, I'm not going to, but he did. He did it anyway. So I understand it. It's my signature move. He had to take it.
What a stud, though. He just, wham.
His agility is unmatched.
No big deal.
Yeah. I've seen videos of him just, standing box jump 4 or 5 feet. I don't know. Just he's a specimen.
Yeah.
Right? You don't see that kind of build and athleticism in the poker world much, aside from Mike and Jason.
Yeah. I think it's just us. So he's thick, he's solid, he's tight. It's Jason Koon, baby. What are you gonna do?
And what about the entrance? I liked it. You get the music, you get the lights. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely, really cool. Really cool to see. I mean, I didn't watch the rest of the tournament, unfortunately, but
what else is there to watch?
I know. I'm gonna catch up.
Jason Koon pops in with a backflip.
I'm a little behind on my poker viewing.
Maybe poker needs to be more like wrestling with the entrances, the music, the theme songs.
No, 100%. Poker needs to be a lot more like wrestling in that aspect. And then we need more leaderboards and things like that. I think the fans want to see they want to have people to root for like they used to back in the old days, and where you could watch Mattisau and Locke and all the classic characters.
I know one year at the World Series of Poker, and maybe it was several years, but with the November 9, they allowed the November 9ers to choose an entrance music and theme. Right, so Phil Collins, when he made the November 9,
sure.
He chose the Phil Collins song in the air tonight.
Yeah, sure. No, what's so funny is Chill Collins, my buddy Brandon. That's Chill Collins is his name online. I always thought that was that Phil Collins. I thought I was playing with him for years, and then I met him in person. I was like, "You're not Phil Collins. What's happening here?"
All right. Well, let us thank our sponsor for this episode, and that is Global Poker. If you use bonus code PokerNews to get $10 purchase bonus, you can receive 150,000 gold coins plus 30 free sweeps coins. That's Global Poker. Use the bonus code PokerNews. All right, let us talk about Daniel Negreanu because he lost a lot of money in 2023. I think it was $2.2 million in tournament buy-ins.
Hell yeah.
He said, I'm going to make some changes, come back in 2024, and he's already won 2 tournaments over there at the PokerGO studio.
Hell yeah.
I mean, is Negreanu back? Is he what's going on? You got to play with him on Game of Gold.
I don't think he was gone. We as
That's
poker
fair.
players just go through it, right? And he's just very transparent with his winnings, and I think that's pretty cool of him. He doesn't have to be, and he is. He always comes out and gives his yearly report at the end of the year, and good for him for owning that. And now look, he's coming back and he's crushing it. But I do want to mention one thing about the picture. I was talking with some of my friends about that. The picture they show him holding a box. Is that the trophy? Because That's like a pretty whack trophy. If
Wait,
that was the
I didn't
trophy.
see it. What was
Yeah,
it?
I don't know. We're going to be flashing the 2 winner photos from it, so we'll have to see. I don't have them handy.
Yeah,
but
I can like picture him doing it, but yeah.
It's like a black box, and he's holding it, and he's smiling.
There's probably a watch in there, maybe.
Is it? Okay, I just couldn't tell if that was
you.
the trophy or if that was an additional prize. But anyway, it was just a topic of conversation. That
his first victory came back in January at the PokerGO Tour Last Chance Series. He took down the $10,000 no limit hold'em, 91 entries for $218,000. And then just last week, he won the PGT PLO Series, event number 3, $5,000 PLO tournament, 118 entries for $147,000. So, I mean,
What was the first buy-in?
the first buy-in was a $10,000 no limit hold'em tournament, won it for $218K.
Okay, so these are good scores. Nice little 20, 30 buy-in scores in the high rollers. It's pretty solid stuff. You like to see it from D-Negs, and I think it's good for the poker community when he's winning.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think so. I was actually at the PokerGo studio right before I came here to the Level 9 studio. I was over at the Aria. I knew the PLO series was going on, so let me go over there, see what's going on. And today, I believe, was the $15,000 buy-in. That place was packed.
wow.
Yeah.
It was pretty impressive the PLO players that exist within the poker world are dedicated. Like, they love the game. They play those events when they happen, and I think this PLO series is evidence of that. I don't know, do you guys play PLO?
No, I play PLO. I haven't played anything over the studio, but I'd really like to. I just keep, it's one of those things where every time it comes around, I'm like, oh, I'm going to play, and then I just never end up doing it. But everyone that plays over there says it's fantastic, and especially the PLO guys, they all love it over there. So, yeah, I've heard it's good stuff and well run. And
Kind of, you played at the PokerGo studio?
I played a satellite there once. Whenever the series comes around, I try and satellite in. I think I've tried 3 times and haven't yet. I mean, it's just not, it's not in my means to be playing those kind of fields, right? Like those kind of buy-ins with those kind of players. I mean, it's a goal of mine. Eventually, I will play one. But yeah, I like PLO though. I've only ever played one PLO tournament, but I like to play PLO cash from time to time. It's fun.
I played
Mix
the
it up.
PLO event over at the WSOP Circuit Horseshoe and lasted all of like 40 minutes. I seen you in the registration line. Got a kick out of, I was reading your tweets earlier in the day, like you were just kind of bashing what was going on at the WSOP Circuit, and I get there and you're in the registration line.
I have no backbone. I have no spine. Like I'm like bitching about everything they're doing. It's like so poorly run over there, and like I do like some of the guys. There's some of the floor over there are really cool and everything, but man. Oh, those dealers over there have issues right now. It is wild. I
didn't think it was too bad. So I played yesterday. I did have issue with the line though, man. I'm not a patient person. I get there, there's like, I went for the ladies event and it was a huge turnout. We got like 210 buy-ins for the ladies event, which is sick. But I get there and there's like 70 ladies waiting in line ahead of me. And I was there at like 4:15. It started at 4. I'm like, this is absurd. Like, let's get it together here. And then eventually they had 4 people up at the cage, but...
Well, the World Series has some antiquated registration policies right now, right? You go anywhere else and you register at the cage, you give them your card, you give them your rewards card, your ID, the money, you tell them the tournament, boom, you're in there. Then you go and hand it to a person and then they give you a seat card. At the WSOP, you have to do that. They have to take your ID. They have to copy it. They have to manually type in your ID number, and then the person who's checking who's doing the things has to check your ID as well. So it ends up holding up the process a lot more. And then they're also doing the thing where every time at late reg they're running an extended break, either 30 minutes or an hour, to allow more people to show up to max late reg. And it's always with like 7 or 8, 10 big blinds max. So. You'll see all the other venues. They're not letting you do that. The win, it's like 20 big blinds, 15 at the max. So,
what about during the summer, the World Series of Poker? They have the kiosks. Do you use those when you're playing the summer?
Actually, yesterday I ran into Lena Evans, and she like just went to the front of the line. I was like, "What are you cutting all of us? What's going on here?" She's like, "No, I used my Bravo account. Like, you could go for the series and use your Bravo account the same way." Credit card. Oh, you can't use the money in the account?
I was under the impression that I don't want to be spewing out misinformation. When I went on there, I left funds on my Bravo from last year because I don't know, I'm lazy. So I left some on there and I thought, I'll just register on there. And it doesn't say TBIC, it just says credit card.
Oh, okay. So, well, maybe that's what she did. But like, I mean, hey, it's an option if you want to pay with a credit card. I mean,
it's like a 3%
skip the
fee
line
or something
a little
like
bit.
That, so.
But I do. I will generally load money on in the beginning of the series in my Bravo account so I can use the kiosks and everything. And but But I always inevitably run out of money.
There's supposed to be a new one. I remember KevMath posted something about some new situation with Bravo for the series. Like they partnered with a different company, maybe. I can't remember. But yeah, the Bravo system it works. It's better than not having that system in place. But I think they could have it run more smoothly. I mean, the problem is too they're charging such a high amount of rake, and the less big blinds means there's gonna be more people buying in. So it seems like there's a lot of rake generation instead of thinking about the players, where there should be a happy medium. I mean, we want them to make money too, but
I think from what I know, behind the scenes workings of the WSOP, does have that sort of stuff in the back of their mind, or they're trying to do certain things. Like they had an app that they debuted at the WSOP Paradise down in the Bahamas.
Oh, that worked so well.
I was going to say, I've heard it's good.
Yeah, and I know they want to introduce that in the United States for the WSOP during the summer, but it's not so easy, right? There's the Nevada Gaming Commission, there's regulatory bodies that they actually have to pass. So I know that they're trying, and I think they realize, like, look, these fields are getting huge. They're aware when these lines happen, it's not good for business and the reputation. So this summer shaping up to probably be even bigger than last summer.
But there's a lot of other venues that they've handled this problem, right? I mean, they're not getting the same volume as the WSOP per se. I mean, in the winter time and during the summer, some events are, but other properties have found better ways to deal with the situation than WSOP has. And for me, a lot of the things that WSOP says, it's hard for me to be 100% to believe it, because it's like, yeah, I'm sure you guys are trying that, but like the software on WSOP.com is from 1963. You know what I mean? Like that hasn't been updated in legitimately 20 years. So I think Caesars is, I don't know. I don't know if it's just in the last 5 or 6 years, but a lot of people I talk to, it seems like it's very, very profit driven. You know what I mean?
I respect what you have to say. I mean, you're a WSOP bracelet winner, a 2-time WSOP.com player of the year. Like, you give business to the WSOP. You got the record for most cashes in the summer. Like, you are one of those players who put in the volume and should have a voice in this thing.
I would love nothing more than just to sing the praises of WSOP, for them to change everything that they have around, to care about the players more. I would love to be a champion of that. But right now, it does seem like, in contrast to the other things that are available to us, that they're offering a worse product that costs more money. The only problem is people like me who literally, I just have no backbone. Like I go, I look at the tournament, I see who's playing. I'm like, what am I going to do? Not play this? Like, so it's, I don't know. It's a hard balance.
Yeah. They always say poker players have to vote with their dollars, but a lot of the times they just don't. I'm guilty of it too. So
yeah, I'm a scumbag, I guess. I don't know. I should have more vitriol.
Well, Kyna, you said you don't like to wait in lines, and neither does Daniel Negreanu. He, is notorious for that in his vlogs. He is continuing into our next topic, and I mentioned it, and that's Botez. She is now with GGPoker alongside Daniel Negreanu. Kind of somebody who, has been with GG in the past. You did Game of Gold, their show, and, another female we've talked about a lot. What did you make of this news? I think
it's pretty cool. It's nice to mix it up. They rotate through their ambassadors and everything, and she's bringing another audience in, the chess side of things. She has a large following. Sorry, hold on. Oh, sorry. She has a large following, on social media. So bringing more people into poker in different ways. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, Good for her.
1.3 million followers on Twitch.
Wow. 1.3.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's so serious.
Yeah, so I saw in the article there's something about her streaming, like she's going to be streaming like Daniel streams. So
yeah, I mean, no, she's a really big personality online. Mm-hmm. Like on my YouTube, I get recommended a lot of her videos. I'm a chess guy a little bit myself, so no, her being in poker is huge. I think there's a lot of crossover. I think people who play chess, people who play poker, similar minded in a lot of scenarios. And yeah, she's like the face of Twitch chess, right? I mean, 1.3 million followers. Holy cow. Good for her. Like, yeah, I think it's really cool. I'm glad I'm glad she's involved.
Yeah, I think obviously she's a superstar in the chess world. She's been around poker long enough, and she's got this influencer status. And with her reach, I didn't know too much about her on like a personality level, but GG did release a video of her with Daniel Negreanu where they kind of introduced her as the new ambassador. They played a little heads up match, and I thought it would be fun to give our viewers and listeners just a little taste of that video. You get a little taste of her personality and how she interacts with Negreanu. It's a few minutes long here, so we'll share that clip right now.
Yeah. Ace-4, nice. I had but 8-10.
But that's something I've always innately kind of understood. It's just like authenticity. I love authenticity, and I'm worried about this generation.
You are so authentic.
Your generation, I'm worried about.
No, I'm worried about it too. And with public figures, what I really appreciate about you is how authentic you are and how you just don't give a fuck. And you could see it. And you know what? Sometimes it rubs people the wrong way.
Great.
But at the end of the day, people know that what you're saying is what you believe. What I realized, especially being a social media creator, is that you start authentic, but then you start being a slave to the algorithm. And you also just start tweaking your persona to what you think people want, which is something I'm completely working on cutting out of my habits right now.
500.
But how have you been able to stay like that? What's the secret?
Confidence. I had great Romanian parents. I don't know if you know anything about that.
No idea.
But my parents loved me. My mother fed me. She said I was never wrong. I have a letter. It's funny. She kept this. It gave it to me as a birthday present like 10 years ago. When I was 10 years old, there's a letter from the principal that says,
2000.
To Mrs. Negreanu, due to your son's poor behavior and manners, we will have no choice but to remove him from school.
No.
Because of the fact that you support him in every possible way and you never think he's wrong. I'm like, you're right, because I'm never wrong.
That's wonderful parents, honestly.
Yeah, I did have. So what is it, 2,000?
1,500.
1,500. 2,000 total, yeah? All right.
All
We're playing
right.
a pot.
We have
First
a
big
hand.
one. Yeah, no, I genuinely think that, like, whether you're influencer or all that, I think people genuinely appreciate authenticity more than anything. In a fake world that we live in, the Instagram world where you always have a filter and you look perfect and your life's amazing and look at how great they are. Meanwhile, a lot of those people are like crying in a bowl of ice cream at like 2 a.m. because they're alone and sad.
1,600.
What? Okay. You're going for it, huh?
All right.
She's going for it. Now what? Turn. That's the hard part. The hand gets more complex.
Starts here.
I have no idea what to do.
I'm trying to
Phone a
think
friend.
of what you could be possibly playing. I mean, I'm not used to playing heads up, so like the
Yeah.
ranges are very different for me to
True.
try to put you on things.
So most likely it's straight draws, a jack, a 9,
Yeah.
pocket pairs, ace high. That's what I'm going to have most.
Do you want to say it again, but start with the one you have?
No.
All right, we'll check to you.
2,000.
2,000.
It's a very small bet.
It is a very small bet.
In the old days, we'd say, finding out where you're at.
Okay.
But they don't do that anymore. Kids, they laugh at that.
They don't try to find out where you're at?
No.
Actions. Okay.
Let's do 4,500. Another small bet. Thin value, as they say.
Thin value.
Can you beat a jack?
No, but I could beat no jack.
All right. So it's the.
I have one of these.
Ooh, you have 2 pair with a
I
very,
have 2
very
pair
good
with
kicker.
a really nice kicker, yeah.
9s and 4s.
There are 9s and 4s. Like, what are you called? I mean, I guess you would be called. I don't think you have a quad 9s, but that'd be really sick.
I do not have a 9.
So I mean, yeah, I'm afraid of a jack or like any other pair, any other higher 2 pair.
Well,
one
other
thing-
2 pairs would probably re-raise pre.
That's true. That's
Like
true.
aces, kings, or queens. I would have 4 bets. So
What
I don't
about
have those.
tens?
10s is very thin. That's very big.
Tens is very thin.
Mhm.
Landon told me that you usually play your hands pretty straight up. So if like it's not that big of a bet,
Probably I have it.
maybe.
Probably, maybe.
But you could just be trying to get me to pay a little bit.
Reverse, reverse.
I think you have it. I'm gonna fold. Oh no! What's the other card? Don't do this to me.
Does he want to see?
Yes. Okay, a 4. Feels better, man.
Full house, absolutely.
All right. So if you want to see the full video of that, you can go online, check it out. I'm sure Daniel Negreanu and Alexandra Botez have both tweeted it. It's like an hour-long video, but I don't know. I I was like, this girl's pretty cool. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see. She's got a
she's chill,
personality,
yeah.
right? She's not just a robot. She's excited to learn the game. I think could be some good things to come. And probably, right, if they are doing Game of Gold Season 2, she's got to be a shoo-in now at this point.
Oh my God, yeah, she's got to be on there, obviously.
Yeah, I would think so. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, no, she's great. I mean, if I was to think about people to bring into poker to be an ambassador, like in that realm, in the Twitch, I mean, I can't think of a better person. I really can't. I mean, yeah, she's going to bring a lot of eyes on, and yeah, cool person.
Yeah. All right. So moving on from the GGPoker, the Botez, we were going to play some PokerNews Plinko, but there has been some technical difficulties with the board.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do some finagling with that for next week's or the weeks down the road. We're gonna pick back up on the PokerNews Plinko. I also want to do some more fun games like a Guess Who version of, like the game Guess Who of poker players.
Oh, that's going to
That
be
would
really
be
good.
really fun. Yeah.
No, I feel like I'll dominate that. I don't know why, but I just have a feeling that's me.
Yeah. Well, we'll do something. Kinda, you can maintain your lead now, at least for a little while.
If they were all just scared, the board is working just fine.
No, that's not what happened. I wish I would do anything for that board to work right now so I could claim the top spot.
Oh,
Mr.
please.
They call me Mr. 10,000. That's just a fact.
Well,
Who calls you that?
They do?
Who's they?
My peoples. They say, yo, is that, hey, that's Mike. And people say, no. Do you mean Mr. 10,000? Yeah, it's me.
That's pretty good. Better than bitch-ass Chad Holloway.
No, I like the Chad Holloway too. That's pretty nice.
All right, well, we're not going to get to PokerNews Plinko. We can't win at that, but somebody who is winning, and we referenced it earlier in the episode, Robbi Jade Lew. She is known throughout the poker industry for the infamous Jack 4 hand at Hustler Casino Live. Garrett Adelstein accused her of cheating. It was one of the biggest poker stories in the community last year. Was it last year or the year 2022?
I don't know. Everything's a blur.
Yeah. But she's at the WPT.
That's 22, I think, yeah.
I think so too. It's towards the end. WPT Rolling Thunder up in Northern California. It was a side event. She ended up winning the $500 8 max for just over $11,000. And then she has a winner's photo where she trolls the whole situation, trolls Garrett by holding the Jack 4, which was not her winning hand. She won with Ace Jack over the King Jack of Barry Birdwell, who finished as runner-up. Pretty good troll, though.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's definitely poking the bear, but...
Yeah, no. If I'm her, I flash the Jack 4 as well,
She's a good
100%.
sport about it too. I think it's, ride it out. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely leans into it quite a bit. She's not afraid. She'll joke around. On the flip side, Garrett really doesn't. Like, it's a very sore subject for him,
Yeah.
and that's why I say, like, poking the bear. Like, I'm sure that didn't sit too well with him when he's seen that.
Probably not, no. But, I mean... I don't know. It's kind of, it's not great to be known as like the person that maybe cheated on the live stream, but you got to lean into it if you've got a hand named after you now, like that's the Robbi, the Jack 4.
My spidey senses tingle about that whole situation.
Well,
something was up there. I don't know.
I remember watching it. Like I watch a lot of Hustler. I haven't as much lately. Like I said, I'm kind of behind with my poker, but I was watching that live when it happened and I was on my couch and I'm like, and I just like, what just happened? What's going on here? And I text somebody. I was like, whoa, there's like such a sus hand just happened. And then the whole thing just blows up and it was going viral like within seconds. That's Twitter's all ablaze about it. It was, it sure was a situation. That's for sure.
Yeah, it was brought to my attention, right, from one of my PokerNews colleagues. And I just remember the shitstorm that followed, right? And then trying to write the story. I actually did a one-on-one interview with Robbi Jade Lew, and I don't know if it was the week after or whatever it was, because the fallout from that wasn't quick. Like it played out over several days, then several weeks, and really over several months, because then Hustler Casino Live had to deal with the fallout too, right? Because all of a sudden you have
their investigation.
Yeah.
It's Akram's razor? Is that what it's called? Where it's like the I could be totally butchering this. I could be thinking of two things, but it's like the most likely scenario is probably what it is. I don't know. There's a lot of really suspect things that happen in a row, like in real weird domino fashion. Like, yeah. Oh, interesting call. Oh, you gave him the money back. Like, oh, that's crazy. Oh, the guy stole money off your stack. Oh, you're not pressing charges. Oh, his desk could see the thing. I don't know. Oh, Nick Vertucci owns it.
Oh, all of a sudden Nick Vertucci's not winning as much anymore.
No, I don't want to spread anything that I don't know anything about Nick Vertucci. I don't know how he won in the first place, but yeah.
I'll say I have never flip-flopped more on a story going back and forth thinking one thing to the other than that story. It would be
I had
one,
a flip-flop too a couple times.
There would be a
Yeah.
development where I'm like, I'm 90% sure it did or didn't happen, and then something else would come and it would swing the pendulum the other way. It was
same.
crazy.
Like when I
As-
watched it initially, I was like, "Oh my god, she cheated!" Like how else do you make that call? She cheated. Like
As the prosecutors have said in court against me, the totality of the evidence seems to indicate there's something afoot.
But then they did the investigation, they went back and forth. I don't know. Like there was so much coming out on both sides. Like you said, like I think I changed my mind like a bunch of times too. And now I
smarter
don't
than
even
this.
really care. I just don't even care.
You're smarter than this.
Well,
That's my new favorite line.
I mean,
you can't come back from that. Someone says you're smarter than this, you're just like, oh, what?
There's a saying I
No, I'm
recently
not.
read. It's when you're dealing with smart, don't do anything stupid. Which I thought was pretty good.
I'm too unintelligent to even figure out what's going on.
But it was cool to see Robbi Jade Lew. Think of what you will, whether she did or she didn't. There's no denying that she became a superstar in the poker world, where she was all of a sudden recognized by people. I remember when she was down at a WPT in South Florida, she was doing selfies with fans and or poker players or what have you. So she certainly became a name within the industry for better or worse. But here she is winning a poker tournament. It's that's not an easy thing to do. So
yeah, no, good for her. I think I saw a video, it was like 3 left and it was Tyler Patterson and he's really good. So like
Shame on you, Tyler, for losing 3-handed. Shame on you. I love Tyler.
he crushes.
Shame
I
on
think
you,
he's the
brother.
all-time money winner at Thunder Valley.
Oh, really?
I believe so.
Yeah, he's cool. He's a really nice guy
Yeah.
too. I've played with him a few times, and really cool guy.
Yeah, he dominates up there. But congratulations to her. I think
Yeah.
that was
nice job. Well done, Robbi. Good for you.
yeah. It was funny because the WPT Rolling Thunder main event, I think, was at the final table or thereabouts, and then this $500 event overshadowed that. Right, this is what everybody was talking about. Was Robbi Jade Lew winning one of these side events? So
Yeah.
all right. Well,
I saw too. Just to say, Brock Wilson and Cherish, they're the poker power couple. They both crushed. I saw Brock got like 7th in the main. I think Cherish got like 10th or 11th.
He got 6.
6. My apologies. And then Cherish got like 10th or something. The mystery bounty. They've just been smashing lately.
I saw them yesterday. Like I was waiting in line to buy into the ladies event and just Cherish comes up. I'm like, how did you get here so fast? She's like, we took the next flight to Vegas, like right after Brock busted. And then they jumped in the high roller. So
Yeah, they're a nice couple.
Yeah.
They're 2 cool people. So
Yeah.
glad they're doing well.
the WPT is now going to go on the cruise. I'm going to be there. I'm leaving in a few days. The WPT Voyage cruise.
so much FOMO.
I hope it's going to be fun. I'm going to play.
I'm going to just not have to look at Twitter for like the whole entire week.
When's it leave?
It leaves. So I'm flying out of Vegas on the red eye on Saturday, and so it's leaving on Sunday.
I'm trying to figure out what I thought conflicted with that I'm not going.
Maybe just the WSOP Circuit here at the Horseshoe.
But it ends on the 1st.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, why am I not going? There's still cabins, right?
There's definitely cabins, but I don't know what the timeline is because cruises, and you got to submit your passport and things. You should try.
They call me Mr. I submit my passport.
You got a lot of nicknames over there.
Man, you don't even know.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to play. I'm going to play the $5,000 main event and the $1,100
nice.
prime.
Spice.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
I didn't know if I could do it, but I had to sell some action, and fortunately, some people snapped it up, and I was like, "All right, we're going to
Nice.
do this." I haven't played.
Taking Chad Holloway for the winner's photo. I can't wait.
Oh, it would be nice, and you get the international flag on Hendon Mob, right?
Oh,
because it's on the
yeah.
high seas.
Oh, wow. The
Yeah.
old international flag. I have none of those.
I have one, believe it or not, from a poker cruise,
Wow,
which was
now
pretty cool.
now I know why the knowledge is in there.
I actually have one too. They, for some reason, gave me one for Game of Gold. Like, even though I didn't win any money, they just put it on my head and mug with the Korean flag, and it says 5th place Game of Gold. So
That's sick.
that's something.
What do you mean? That's so cool.
It's pretty cool.
I'd want one.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Did they do it for? They probably only did it for the final table. They
No,
probably didn't-
everybody's. I think it's on there
Oh,
for
so
everybody.
Negreanu was like
I think.
31st place
Yeah.
or whatever.
It
That
might.
sucks.
Actually, I didn't. Well, there's 16. So like I
16. I can't. Math's for losers.
Do you have a IMDb then? On the International Movie Database.
Oh, I don't know.
It was YouTube, right? So
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
But
I'm not
if
checked
she's
that.
on there, I better be on IMDb for my illustrious documentary.
You should be on IMDb if and when the Poker Night in America episodes air on CBS Sports.
Oh, seriously?
I'm on there from.
Oh, yeah, you are,
Poker Night
right.
in America from when I played in 2015, which was interesting.
And then hopefully, when the WPT film drops, I can get hopefully Netflix or something picks that up. I can get a little more IMDb
There you go.
stuff. Yeah.
We're gonna all be movie stars.
Hell yeah.
We're making it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to say to everybody watching, listening, do us a favor, like, subscribe. We're going to drop the button right here if you're watching on YouTube. Hopefully you are. You get to see us in studio. But if you like just to listen to podcasts, you can also do that on any major poker podcast platform, Apple, Spotify, all that. So we're both audio and visual. Do us a favor, like, subscribe. But also do one other favor, and you guys don't know about this yet because I added it last minute. The episode dropped yesterday, but my old PokerNews Podcast co-host, Connor Richard, my colleague at PokerNews, is doing his own podcast show for PokerNews. It is Life Outside Poker, where he is going more one-on-one with a guest, sit down for an hour and talk to them about life, talk to them about poker, talk to them about the stuff that you don't really get when you just get somebody on a show for 5-10 minutes. It's a way to really get to know the person behind the player, if you will. And his first guest was Farrah Galfond, the wife of Phil Galfond.
She's the best. I love her.
Yeah, and I'm sure you both have played with her a little bit around Vegas, right?
Yeah, I've seen her in some of the ladies' events.
Yeah, I met her actually at we played a few times, and then I met her and Phil at my buddy John Reardon's wedding. She actually knows Esther, his wife, and yes, they didn't even know each other through poker. So I got to meet her and Phil there, and man, they're the best. They're just like a great couple. I love them.
Yeah, Phil is always been one of my favorite people. He went to the University of Wisconsin, Madison, where I went. So,
I didn't know that. That's cool. Yeah.
So we've gotten to know each other over the years. I've helped him with a few stories and vice versa. So and then Farrah sat down with Connor. They actually filmed at Roma Deli, which I thought was a fun little interesting. Sure. And I just wanted to share a little clip here. It's just a couple minutes long, but just to give you a little taste about life outside poker with Connor Richards that you should also like, subscribe, and tune into. Let's just play that clip right here.
Yeah, so I fell in love with poker, and when there wasn't a home game, I thought, well, how can I play poker this weekend? I just wanted to play every weekend when I had a couple days off. So I was like, well, I used to love going to Vegas. Let me try going to Atlantic City. So I go to Atlantic City, and I ran so hot the first day because I was checking in at the hotel at the Borgata, and the executive host recognized me, and he was a big fan. And he was like, what are you doing here? And I was like, I was going to play some poker. I've never been here before. And he was like, anytime you want to come, you've got a room. And I was like, well, so that was like a lot of motivation to just keep going every weekend because I got a free room because the guy was a fan. Sorry, that was like not within protocol, but, or within the rules. But that is why I started going to Atlantic City, and I would play tournaments and still like no studying really. Like I got maybe like one book, and I would watch it on TV, but I had a real job. Like I was just playing for fun. And I don't think I quite understood how much like study and work could go into it. And at that point, people were starting to study, I think. I mean, there were still a lot of bad players, but looking back, like, I was a huge fish. Yeah.
Your first tournament cash might have been at Borgata in like 2010. So it does seem like that is when poker players started getting more serious kind of a few years after that.
Because I think I went to the World Series for the first time maybe like that year, 2010. That sounds right. And my friend who was living in Manhattan with me, we went together to play the ladies tournament, and she had been studying a lot. Like she had all kinds of books, and we're in our hotel room at the Aria, and I just see like all her poker books, and she's like looking at charts, and that I was like, what are you doing? Oh my God. Yeah. So I was starting to become aware that you could actually try to get better at the game. But I was still, like I said, I was still working, and I didn't want to be a professional. I just wanted to have fun. So.
All right, that is Life Outside Poker with Connor Richards. You can check it out on the PokerNews YouTube channel, and it will also be available on in an audio format wherever your major podcast platforms are. That's going to pretty much do it for this episode. I know you guys are anxious to go late reg a poker tournament that's taking place here in Vegas.
Yeah, I'm gonna go play the mystery bounty at the Horseshoe because again, I have no spine. I will go give money to my enemies. Yeah.
Kyna, you gonna go jump in that thing?
I don't think so. Not today. No, I played last night. I'm still a little bit tired. It takes it out of me.
Yeah, I hear you. Have you ever mystery bounties? So I've played at the Wynn, and I literally bubbled the day one, so I didn't make it to day two, which is where the mystery bounties kick in. So I've never actually played a mystery bounty where I'm eligible to win the bounties, or an envelope. Have you? Have you gotten to take these polls at the Wynn or wherever?
Yeah, I've pulled 5 mystery bounties. I've never pulled anything higher than the minimum.
I played one at MGM. It was a smaller one though, and I think I think the minimum bounty was 400. I think, and I pulled a 5K. So yeah, it was the only one time I've gotten to do it. It was I know, right?
Wow, what a garbage!
It was
factory.
exciting. It was very exciting for me.
I pulled all 500s every time. It's just 500. Yeah. I like that. I got eliminated in this most recent one at the Wynn. It was like a 1600 mystery bounty or 1100. I can't remember, 22, whatever it was. And I made it day 2. I pull my bounty. I go back to my table. I get it all in this hand where I have ace jack and the guy's got king 7. He tank calls all in pre-flop and hits a king. And as I'm cashing out, he's doing the mystery bounty to the right. And I look over at my table and they're all looking at me and they're all like, watch what's going to happen. He pulls 50K and he's like, yeehaw! And I'm like, I was like, okay, I hate everyone so much.
Similar thing happened to me in the millionaire bounty. I busted and the guy that I wrote, you have the card. I wrote like mush all over my card. I was like, don't bust me. This is going to be such bad luck. And the guy that busted me also pulled a 50K.
Yeah,
so that's how much we're worth, man.
I feel, hey.
That's how much I pay you guys to do this show.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. If the IRS is listening, he's lying his ass off. Bitch ass Chad Holloway.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Poker News Podcast. We will be back next week for one more in-studio episode, and then I'm going to do 2 weeks special on the cruise ship from the WPT Voyage. You two won't be there with me, but we'll pick this back up in studio later on in April. Until then, we'll keep a seat open for you.
Bye, y'all.